Welcome to the amazing video. And today, I'll show you the 10 abandoned places. All you have to do is subscribe to my YouTube channel and click the notification bell. 10 of the most creepy abandoned places and their stories. There are many abandoned places around the world, but some are very creepy indeed. These 10 are prime examples. Long past their heyday, these 10 creepy abandoned buildings, wrecked ships, sunken cities, and old military installations are some of the scariest places in the world. Some of them have been redeveloped or demolished in recent times, but their legacy is still fresh in the minds of those who visited them. A few of them are strictly off limits, yet others are free for you to visit if you are brave enough. This list is far from exhaustive and in no particular order. Number 10. The disturbing wreck of the SS America. The SS America was commissioned and built in 1940 for the United States lines and designed by famed naval architect William Francis Gibbs. SS America had a distinguished service life of 54 years before ending up wrecked on the Playa de Garcia in the Canary Islands. Her name changed throughout that time, with her final name, at the time of wreckage, the SS America Star. At the time, she was undertow to be refitted as a floating hotel in Thailand when a large storm broke the tow lines, leaving her adrift. She can still be seen beached and wrecked, but has largely broken up since 1994. A large part of her bow still remains visible at low tide and serves as a stark reminder of the power of the sea. Number 9. The really spooky military hospital in Germany. The Beelitz-Heilstätten Hospital is situated near Berlin in a little town called Beelitz, famous for asparagus. It was originally built at the beginning of the 20th century to treat tuberculosis, with the entire facility comprising around 60 buildings. It was commandeered as a military hospital during the World Wars and was also used for Nazi experiments during World War II. During the final days of the war, the facility was captured by Soviet forces and became their biggest military treatment center outside of Russia until 1994. Small parts of it are still in use for neurological research and treatment, but most are left derelict. Number 8. The IM cooling tower is now off limits. The cooling tower to an abandoned power station in the town of Charleroi, Belgium still dominates the skyline but no longer bellows out steam. The power plant was originally built in 1921 and was, at the time, one of the largest coal-burning power plants in Belgium. At its height, the cooling tower was able to cool mills. Later audits found that the power plant alone was responsible for generating 10% of Belgium's CO2 emissions. This led to protests from Greenpeace in 2006, ultimately leading to its closure in 2007. Number 7. The Jetstar Rollercoaster was a spooky abandoned fairground ride. The Jetstar Rollercoaster was once a popular attraction between the 70s and 00s. The owners did attempt to sell the site, but it was not financially viable to refurbish it. It was finally stricken down by the superstorm Sandy in 2012 and left to rust for 6 months in the Atlantic Ocean before being demolished. Number 6. Yet another submarine base, but this time in Balaclava. Here's another Soviet-era submarine docking facility, but this one isn't completely abandoned but is still very creepy. It seems Russian communists have a penchant for building imposing and scary underground facilities. Decommissioned after the fall of the Soviet Union, this was once a top-secret facility near Balaclava. It was specifically designed to be able to withstand a nuclear strike and is deep underground. The structure was touted as virtually indestructible, with its labyrinth of corridors and docks crowned with a shell of concrete and steel that was designed to resist a 100-kiloton blast. It was converted into a naval museum in recent times but has since closed because of the recent geopolitical issues in Crimea. The facility is currently disputed between. Number 5. Pripyat, the Chernobyl abandoned city. Pripyat was founded as a Soviet nuclear city in 1970 to house workers for the nearby ill-fated Chernobyl nuclear power station. It takes its name from the nearby Pripyat River and was officially recognized as a city in 1979 with a population in excess of 49,000. In 1986, as the nuclear facility faced meltdown, the entire city was evacuated. Access to the city is currently administered by Ukraine's Ministry of Emergencies that control activities within the Chernobyl exclusion zone. Radiation levels have fallen considerably since 1986, with equivalent doses ranging from 1 to 336 microsievert per hour. Today the city is the very definition of a ghost town. Number 4. Sorrento Abandoned Mill is beautiful and scary. The Sorrento Abandoned Mill near Naples, Italy sits in a deep canyon, Vallone dei Mulini, Valley of the Mills, and has been partially reclaimed by nature. Stunningly beautiful in its decrepitude, it is both enticing and creepy at the same time. Built in the 10th century, it served as a flour mill until it was closed in 1866 when the Tasso Square was built. This event isolated it from the sea, increasing local humidity, rendering the mill impractical. The building was finally closed and abandoned to its fate in the 1940s. Number 3. The Monsol Sea Forts once housed pirate radio stations. Designed by Guy Monsol, these Army and Navy forts were built in the Thames and Mersey estuaries during the Second World War to defend the waterways in case of attack. Post-war, with the immediate threat from Axis forces removed, the forts were decommissioned and left to their fate. Although they are collectively called Monsol Forts, they actually comprise of two distinct designs. The forts closest to the mainland were Army forts. Those further out to sea were for naval purposes, serving as gun platforms. The forts have since been used for pirate radio activities, with one famously declaring itself independent from the UK as the Principality of Sealand, though its declared sovereign status is not officially recognized. Number 2. The haunted New Bedford Orpheum. The New Bedford Orpheum, or Orpheum Theatre, is a now vacant theater and movie house on Water Street, New Bedford, Massachusetts. The building opened its doors on April 15, 1912. If that sounds familiar, it's the same day the Titanic was struck down. The theater was closed in 1958 and was only open for special occasions thereafter. It was later sold to a tobacco company who used it for storage in 1962, but it is now largely void. Today it's a spookily eerie place to behold, but there are plans afoot to revive the building by a non-profit organization. If you like this video, please like and subscribe and smash the notification bell to keep you updated on our new video. Number 1. The 107-year-old floating forest, SS Airfield. Homebush Bay used to be home to various shipbreaking operations during the mid-20th century. Various wrecked hulls remain in the area, including the most famous of them, the SS Airfield. The ship was built and launched from the UK in 1911 and later registered as SS Airfield in Australia in 1912 as a steam collier. It transported supplies during World War II and returned to service as a steam collier post-war until it was decommissioned in 1972. Most of its superstructure was reclaimed and scrapped during the 1970s, but ship-breaking operations ceased in the same decade, leaving the hull to float ominously in the bay. Nature has since reclaimed the ship, creating an amazingly beautiful, yet creepy, abandoned shipwreck. That's the 10 of the most creepy abandoned places and their stories. If you like this kind of video, subscribe to our YouTube channel. We post a video 3 times a week. Thank you for watching.